Middle Tennessee, since joining Conference USA, they are 0 for 6 against the Lady Raiders. Last win coming in this building, the 2000-2001 season. Katie Collier, the junior from Middle Tennessee, takes the tip off, and we are underway here in the Glass House. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with us here on ESPN3. Middle Tennessee comes into this game with a 13-8 record, 5-3, and there's Alex Johnson. She had 18 on Sunday against Charlotte. She is finding her groove after missing 11 games, including 9 in a row with a lingering ankle injury. And Chris, if she is back and healthy, she is going to cause some serious damage, as there's the starting 5 for La Tech. Kiera Lang, Taylor Staley, Daria McCutcheon, Rihanna Cleaver, and Alexis Malone. And there's the starting 5 for Middle Tennessee. Alex Johnson, who just scored, Abby Sissom, Jess Loro, Katie Collier, and Rebecca Reuter.
Going back to Alex Johnson, Alex averaged 20 points a game last year. She was the preseason Conference USA Player of the Year. She had an ankle injury. She was a little bit hobbled this year, but now she's back on track. And I'm telling you, it's no coincidence that it's lined up with Middle Tennessee winning 6 of their last 7 games.
Rihanna Cleaver knocked down that jumper for La Tech. There's a look at Brooke Storr. Her second season in Ruston, she's got an overall record of 31-22. Had a very impressive season last year. Lady Techsters were picked to be 12th in Conference USA. They went on to win 18 games, including 12 games in conference, and earned themselves a WNIT berth. So defying expectations. There's a look at Rick Insel, 13th season here in Murfreesboro. Picked up his 300th victory in his Hall of Fame career earlier this season.
Yeah, Insel's one of the greatest coaches of all time to ever coach women's basketball. He made a name for himself at Shelbyville High School, which is right down the road from Murfreesboro, won a bunch of national championships, and parlayed that success into great success at the college level.
Five on the shot clock. Elbow three, well off. Doesn't hit the rim, it looked like. And that's going to be a shot clock violation.
Great defense there by Middle Tennessee, packing the lane, making them beat you from the outside, making them take an outside shot. And that's exactly what happened. Low percentage shot, put up a brick. Possession goes back to Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee, one of the best defensive teams in the entire country. They are 11th in scoring defense. And they have held opponents under 50 points 9 times this season. Rebecca Reuter for 3. Got it.
And she's not going to shy away from that. She's 6'4". A lot of her damage comes inside the paint, but she's got a great shooter's motion from the outside. If you give her a little space, she's not afraid to take the shot. And a big 3 there drained by Reuter.
Reuter has struggled a little bit shooting from behind the line in conference play, but she is still a 36% three-point shooter. And she is going to draw the foul here as Rihanna Cleaver will go to the line. There's a look at that vaunted MTSU defense. Plus 13 in steal differential the last 5 games, and that has been a huge propeller for them recently. They've been playing very well, won 5 of their last 6.
And that defense has kept them in the race. I mean, they had no offensive production whatsoever for weeks, and a lot of that had to do with Alex Johnson, their star player, being on the bench, and some other girls trying to overcompensate. They just never could find the rhythm offensively, but the defense was what was able to keep them in the race, and here they are now winning 6 of their last 7. They're still in striking distance of trying to win the Conference USA Championship. Some big games left on the schedule, like Western Kentucky in a couple weeks at home, so it's been because of the defense that Middle Tennessee is still very much alive in the race for the Conference USA title.
A lane violation on the second free throw attempt, and Cleaver will get another crack at it. And she missed everything on that one. Just a 38% free throw shooter this season. She's been playing very well lately. Her last 3 games, she's been averaging 10 points and 4 rebounds per game. Coming into this game, just averaging 5 points per contest. There's a look at our officials here today. Scott Yarbrough, Gil Lawrence, and Marla Gearhart. Reuter takes a tumble. Johnson can't handle it, and here come the Lady Techsters. Three ball on the way. Too strong. Loose ball picked up by Lauro, and now Kiera Lang is 0 for 2 from deep.
I have not seen somebody shoot it like that in a long time. There's so much air under the ball. She just kind of just lofts it up there in the air, and it's almost like she just hopes and prays it's going to go down.
Reuter going one-on-one, strong with the left hand, but misses everything.
Nice move there by Reuter, positioning herself, trying to get a nice look at the basket, but even better defense inside by the Lady Texters.
Another 3-ball on the way. Third time's the charm for the Lady Texters as Alexis Malone knocks down the 3-ball.
And it's almost like MTSU was just begging them to shoot. Like, they're not worried about the perimeter whatsoever. They're just kind of begging them to beat them from the outside. But if you do that too often, I mean, these girls are on our D1 scholarship players for a reason. They're going to eventually hit some shots. And right now, Tech's got the 1-point lead, 6-5.
Just the second 3-point field goal made for Malone this season on just her 5th attempt. So not really part of her game, but she knocks down the early tray ball here and gives her team a 1-point lead. 6-5, 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. Nice pass into the post. Weaver can't finish, and she wanted a foul call, not going to get it.
Yeah, even though they couldn't convert on the basket there, you just saw how important Alexis Malone is. Immediately, she draws that double team inside near the basket, which allowed somebody else to get open and get a decent look towards the basket.
Johnson to Reuter for another 3. This one's too strong, and rebounded by Kiera Anthony, our player to watch tonight. She drives, and a nice job by Katie Collier to establish position. Anthony a little bit out of control there on the drive.
Yeah, and this is what Kiera has to fix. I mean, turnovers have been an issue. Her body was all out of control. That was an easy call for the officials right there. Nice job by Middle Tennessee setting position on that play, but that has been their issue, and Kiera Anthony's been at the center of it. They turned the ball over far too many times.
See there on the sideline, Katie Collier getting worked on, took a shot to the face, looks like. As Anna Jones, the freshman, will check in.
I'm a little surprised that she's not starting. I mean, it took her 5 minutes to get into this game, and she's been such a weapon recently for MTSU. We said in the open over the last 5 games, she's averaging 16 points a game, and all of those coming off the bench.
Foul called far away from the bucket. This will be the second team foul against La Tech.
And I would just think with the way Anna Jones is playing, you want her out there as much as possible. She has given you a much-needed offensive spark over the last couple weeks of the season.
Foul goes against Zanae Whitney, the junior from Queens, New York, who's just checked in for La Tech. Alex Johnson for 3. And with 4:50 to go here in the first, a little sloppy to start things.
First, make the Raiders take some quick shots. She said they also want to focus on guarding Alex Johnson because she's lethal inside. Jake, back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. La Tech with a 1-point lead out of the media timeout, 6-5. Both teams struggling offensively as Anna Jones forces the turnover.
Great job there by Anna Jones. I said it earlier. She is so scrappy, so intense, and a nice job there getting the ball back for MTSU.
Middle Tennessee looking to end a drought. They have not scored in the last 3.5 minutes. Just 2 of 6 from the field so far. A lot of dribbling from Sissom, and that's going to be a 5-second call. Great defense from the Lady Texters.
Yeah, I feel like a broken record this season, but once again, MTSU is struggling on offense. They haven't scored a point in the last 3.5 minutes. Luckily for them, Louisiana Tech hasn't exactly been, lighting it on fire early on in this game either offensively, but Middle Tennessee's got to settle down, play their game, work the ball around, and take high percentage shots.
Jones fouls Amber Dixon, the freshman from Arlington, Texas, on the drive. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Middle Tennessee, and the first against Jones. A little bit too much of a hand check there from the freshman Jones. Dixon, McLeod, Staley, Whitney, Malone, the 5 on the floor for La Tech. Sissom, Lauro, Jones, Lyon, and Rebecca Reuter, the 5 for Rick Insel's Lady Raiders. And another hand check foul going to be called. This time it's going to go against Abby Sissom against Anna McLeod.
That one looked a little bit ticky-tack to me. MTSU's got to be careful now. 4 team fouls, and there's only 3:48 left in the first period. So got to be careful not to get the Lady Texters in the bonus too soon in the first half.
La Tech scrambling offensively. Shot put up in the paint is short by Whitney, and here come the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, and usually she's going to get that to go. That was in a high percentage spot right there at the free throw line, and typically that's a point on the floor where she's going to get it to go. But that was a good break there from Middle Tennessee.
Reuter with 10 on the shot clock. Now 5 for Sissa. Back to Reuter on the block. She goes up strong for the 2. Up and over Anna McLeod.
That's what she provides in this matchup. She's 6'4". She's got a couple of inches on everybody on the floor. Feed it inside. Double cover there didn't matter. She used that size advantage, and she got the easy bucket.
Quick trigger from the junior Taylor Staley. She's the sharpshooter for this Lady Texters squad, as Anna Jones' 3 is off the back iron, but a big rebound by Reuter. And Reuter is going to be fouled on the entry pass by Malone. That'll be the 3rd team foul against the Lady Texters.
And I love that. Go outside in all day. Attack, attack, attack. As long as Reuter's on the floor, she's coming out of the game now. But as long as she's on the floor, use that size advantage. She's got a couple of inches on everybody on the floor. Keep going inside of Reuter.
Jones drives and found herself in trouble looking for Alex Johnson. And that's going to be another turnover for the Lady Raiders. That's going to be their 4th.
And that's something that Coach Insel's talked about a lot lately, is that it's kind of feast or famine with Anna Jones. She's going to make those freshman mistakes. As good as she's been, as hot as she's been shooting the basketball here lately, averaging 16 points over the last 5 games, she just got a little bit of unsure of herself right there. And because of it, a turnover for MTSU.
Cleaver's checked back in for the Texters. She drives. Staley for 3. Short.
Rare miss there for Staley. That's what she does so well. An awesome spot shooter for the Lady Texters.
She has hit a 3-ball in 21 straight games. Looking to catch up to her coach's record. That's right, Brooke Stoer hit 25. Had a 25-game 3-point streak, as you saw there. The turnover numbers between the 2 teams. La Tech is 11-5 when they force 15 or more turnovers, and turnovers have been a big problem for the Lady Raiders so far this season.
That was another miss there by Alex Johnson. Middle Tennessee now only shooting 33% from the floor in the first quarter.
Offensive foul against the Lady Texters. And that's going to be the 2nd foul against Zanae Whitney, so she will take a seat.
You know, going back to Coach Stoer, you mentioned how she was such a good player for Louisiana Tech. She was here during the heyday, kind of the end of the heyday for La Tech. But if you think about this program, they are one of the best women's basketball programs of all time. They've got 3 national title banners hanging up in their gym down in Ruston, Louisiana. They've been to the Final Four 13 times. I mean, this is one of the proudest programs in college basketball history, and Coach Stoer was a part of that back in the early 2000s.
Went to a Final Four back in 1999 and was a part of teams that won 4 straight conference and tournament titles. Anna Jones drives, gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 with 50.7 to go here in the first.
And that's why I love Anna Jones. Anna Jones is not just a spot shooter. A lot of times you see these freshmen that'll just kind of pull up and feed them the ball. If they get a little space, they'll take the shot. Anna Jones, as you saw, she can beat you off the dribble. She can be aggressive and get to the basket and draw fouls like she did right there.
Jones struggled from the field against Charlotte on Sunday. Just 3 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 10 from deep. Ended up with 12 points, did a lot of damage from the free throw line as she knocks down the 2nd of a pair. 2-point lead for Middle Tennessee.
And she hasn't gone unnoticed. I mean, she is the reigning national freshman player of the week in college basketball, and she's gaining a lot of attention nationally for what she's doing, kind of lighting a fire under MTSU's offense over the last month or so.
Cleaver might have got away with a walk,
Not
but
might
Sissom
have, she
takes it
did.
away.
It doesn't matter, though. Here's Sissom on the transition.
Sissom sheds the defender and goes up strong with the right hand. Middle Tennessee up 4.
First points of the game for Sissom. She was the leading scorer for this team for much of the year with Alex Johnson on the bench with an injury. She's been struggling with her rhythm offensively. The confidence has been a little bit shot, but a nice job there putting away the easy layup after the turnover.
5 seconds. The heave from 3, well off. Gabby Lyon with a rebound. And a dangerous pass in front of her own bucket to find Anna Jones. But Middle Tennessee's defense comes through strong in the first as they lead by 4, 10-6 as we head to the second quarter. Stay with us right here on ESPN.
A lot. She's on the bench right now, but play her a lot and just give her the ball inside. She has been a force early on inside the paint for MTSU.
Middle by 5 as we start the second here on ESPN 3. Kiera Anthony. Her first shot attempt of the night rolls off the back of the rim. And we talked about it pregame, Chris. If La Tech wants to get the win here tonight, they need a big night from Anthony. She had 18 against Western Kentucky on Sunday, but before that, she was 1 of 24 in conference play from behind the line. Finally found her groove as she went 8 of 14.
Yeah, that's another turnover there for the Lady Texers. That's 6 already in this game. They had 25 last time out against Western Kentucky. That's been their biggest issue offensively in conference play. Got to take care of the basketball.
Jones is driven out of bounds, and that's going to be another turnover for Middle Tennessee, their 5th.
Sloppy game so far. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat. It's been a sloppy game. Middle Tennessee up 10-6. The first quarter wasn't for the faint of heart. Louisiana Tech shot 20% from the field. Middle Tennessee not that much better at 36%. Hopefully both teams just kind of settle down as we ease into the second quarter.
La Tech down 4, just 4 and 6 this season when trailing after the first quarter. Another 3 by Staley, and that one rolls home.
And that's what they were telling us. You know, they told us that before the game. That's what Staley does so well. She's a spot shooter. She's not going to really beat you off the dribble, but find her some space out on the perimeter, and she can beat you most times, and she did it right there.
It's 22 straight games with a three-pointer made. Slowly but surely creeping up on Coach Storr's mark of 25. And that's going to be a foul in the paint. Looks like this one's going against 34, Alexis Malone. That's going to be her second. And the first team foul here in the second quarter. Malone, the only senior on this La Tech squad. A team that features 7 new players, only 6 returning from last season.
It's a young program that's trying to build right now. I mean, I think that's the thing, that they have so much tradition, 3 national titles, 10 Final Fours. They've done it all, but they haven't been themselves for a while. They had Tyler Summit, Pat Summit's kid, for a couple of years. That tenure ended controversially. Then Coach Storr takes over, but she knows the blueprint. She knows how it works, and she's trying to slowly but surely build back that winning culture at Louisiana Tech.
Foul's going to go against Gabby Lyon on the Jones three-point miss. That's going to be the first team foul for the team and against Lyon. Lang, Anthony, Cleaver, Staley, McDonald, the 5 for La Tech. Johnson, Sissom, Loro, Jones, and Lyon on the floor for the Lady Raiders. Baseline jumper, sky high, and it's in.
Great stuff from Anthony. That's what she does so well. She's so quick, she's so twitchy, she can beat you off the bounce. Did a nice job there of creating a nice opportunity and a high percentage shot for her teammate.
And another foul away from the bucket.
Both teams early on in this game, 4 of 12 from the field. La Tech shooting 33%, Middle Tennessee 33%. Again, both teams have had their issues, but starting to settle down a little bit here.
Foul goes against Lang. Her first, team second. Nice backdoor cut by Gabby Lyon, and she's rewarded by Alex Jones. Middle Tennessee back in front.
Beautiful vision there by Alex Johnson. That's what she does. She commands so much attention. Everybody's worried about her getting to the basket and taking the shot, and it opened up a wide open layup for Gabby Lyon.
Staley well off on the three-point attempt, but Nikki McDonald, who knocked down the shot on the baseline, a possession ago, got the rebound, and she's fouled going up.
Yeah, now La Tech 2 of 7, or 2 of 8 now from the outside.
And Rick Hensel is going to take a timeout. And his lady here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to have her. She's your point guard. She's your floor general. She makes the offense go. Stat sheet-wise, she doesn't show up in big numbers, but she is a key cog to making MTSU what they are. And hopefully she'll be back. But that was a nasty elbow she took to the face.
McDonald misses the first of a pair. Misses them both. 7:20 to go, Middle Tennessee up 1, 12-11. Both teams really struggling offensively. Combined 9 of 26 from the floor.
And if you can't shoot from the field, you got to hit your free throws. In a La Tech, only 1 of 4 from the charity stripe to start the game.
Alex Johnson now 1 of 5 from the floor here in the first half, as the Texters defense has really clamped down on the Conference USA preseason player of the year. Here, Anthony stepped out of bounds. And another turnover.
And I don't think for Alex Johnson it has anything to do with the injury. It's just one of those nights. She's not feeling it tonight. She was, smoking hot a couple days ago with 18 points, but she just needs to settle down, play her game. I think eventually things are going to start to come a little bit easier for Alex Johnson tonight.
Let's look at points off turnovers early so far. The Blue Raiders making the most of 7 turnovers for the Lady Texters.
I'm not sure why you do that if you're Jess Lurrow. That's not your game. Driving to the basket, being aggressive, getting to the rim, work the ball around. Get it to Anna Jones, get it to Alex Johnson, get it to your scores. No reason to force the issue.
Laurel had 14 against Charlotte on Sunday, and there's Gabby Lyon yet again right there underneath.
I just think Anna Jones is an amazing building block for this team, and right now you see MTSU dominating inside, outscoring La Tech 10-0 inside the paint. That was all Anna Jones. Anna Jones is now commanding so much attention with her ability to score. Did a great job of drawing all the attention. She drove the basket and set up her teammate for an easy layup.
5 on the shot clock for Lang. Goes to Cleaver, swatted away by Alex Johnson. No, ma'am.
And Alex Johnson is fabulous. I mean, Alex Johnson's the Conference USA preseason player of the year for a reason. And you see right here that defensive effort just saying, ain't going to happen, not in this house, not in this gym, not in the glass house. Great defensive effort there. Alex is so key to what they do, but I'm telling you, if this team, MTSU, is going to compete for the Conference USA Championship, I think Anna Jones is going to be the star that gets in there. Having Alex Johnson is so big because it draws so much attention and so many double teams, but Anna Jones, you saw that right there. Like, a lot of people think Anna Jones is just a three-point shooter. Not the case. Got to the rim, had the respect of the defense, did a great job of giving the ball away. I'm telling you, she is going to be the key cog for MTSU down the stretch this year.
Alex Johnson actually called for a foul. That's going to be her first. Goes to work on Cleaver, and Cleaver draws the foul.
Fans here not happy about it, but it was. I mean, she got a little bit too aggressive there. She stuck her body out, and great defense by Louisiana Tech. They were set. Feet were set there by number 23, and Johnson, just one of those plays, went the other way. Offensive foul.
Back-to-back possessions result in fouls for Johnson, so she takes a seat with 4 team fouls on the Raiders halfway through the second. Reuter checks back in. Staley, quick trigger in their corner, got it. Second 3 ball for Taylor Staley.
And that's what she does. She is a spot shooter. You got to cover her on the perimeter. You cannot give her space. If you do, she's going to beat you most times.
Sissom pulls up, and a big rebound by Anna Jones in the corner. 77% of Staley's shots are 3-point attempts. A pure volume shooter.
That's why you got to cover her.
Ball batted around, but Gabby Lyon with a nice drop pass for Reuter in the paint. And Reuter able to finish as Anna Jones is going to be called for the foul as Anthony went tumbling into the Middle Tennessee bench, and the natives here in Murfreesboro getting a little restless, but that's going to be two-shot foul.
Lady Raiders have 16 points. You have Reuter right now with 7 of them. She's 3 of 5 from the floor. She's dominated inside the paint. You saw it there. Had an easy look at the basket a few moments ago. That's the key to me for Middle Tennessee. Keep feeding Reuter. She's got the size advantage. You've had success in the paint. Keep going inside.
Anthony has her first points tonight. 80% free throw shooter. Conference USA preseason all-conference selection. Second team all-conference selection last year. Second one rolls out. And we're going to have another foul. And 2 more shots coming for the Lady Texans. Shooting just 3 of 8 so far in the first half, as this one's going against Rebecca Reuter.
Yeah, I was going to say, luckily for MTSU, they haven't been able to take advantage of it, shooting only 38% from the charity stripe. But eventually, if you commit enough fouls, they're going to get them to go and beat you from the free throw line. You got to stop with the ticky-tack fouls, and so far MTSU has 5 in the first half.
Nikki McDonald knocks down a pair, and La Tech now leads by 2, 18-16 with 4.5 to go. Reuter sets the screen for Lauro, quick trigger, well off. Reuter hustles, gets the rebound, and draws the foul against La Tech.
I think Lauro needs to shoot more. I mean, she can really be a threat from the outside. Earlier, she tried to drive to the basket, not really her game. But she can be a threat from the outside. She just has to have the confidence with the ball in your hand, take the shot.
Foul goes against Lang, her second. That'd be the third against La Tech. Lauro, a lot like Staley, where a vast majority of her shots are three-point attempts, 73%.
That nearly went down, and I think that's what separates Anna Jones from a lot of other freshman players in college basketball, creating her own opportunity. You don't see many players do that, but Anna Jones, that was a great example of a player just creating her own shot.
Anthony gets the runner to fall, and that's her first field goal tonight. Reuter going one-on-one with Cleaver, now back out to Sissom. 4-point La Tech lead, 3:30 to go here in the first half. Jones, step back 3. Can't get the roll, and a big rebound by McDonald. And here come the Lady Texers. There's a look at the rebounding numbers. Bad pass from the elbow. Gabby Lyon able to swallow it up. And a foul will be called on the floor. That'll be the 4th team foul against La Tech.
And you've seen throughout the first half, there's nothing they can really do to stop Rebecca Reuter. There's really nothing they can do. You know, she's either going to pick up a foul or she's going to get an easy layup near the basket. She has been the biggest force inside and really just offensively in general for Middle Tennessee.
Fouls against Nikki McDonald, her first, as Gabby Lyon lowers her shoulder, trying to get to the bucket. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Middle Tennessee. Sissom, Lauro, Jones, Lyon, Reuter, the 5 for the Middle Tennessee. While Anthony, Dixon, Staley, McDonald, and Malone are on the floor for the Lady Texters, as Gabby Lyon misses the layup. And here comes Amber Dixon setting up the Lady Texter offense. Sissom's all over Staley, who's knocked down a couple of three-pointers here in the second. McDonald's jumper short.
Yeah, and typically that's going to be a gimme shot there. It was a nice high percentage shot. She had a lot of space, just couldn't get that one to go.
Offense has picked up a little bit here in the second. Middle Tennessee still scoreless the last 2 minutes. Reuter goes to work. And a nice little teardrop.
All day long. I've been saying it all half, all day long. Give it to number 24. She cannot be guarded by this team. And they're paying attention, they're learning, because right now Reuter's got 9 points in the first half. She's 4-6 from the field.
Reuter leads all scorers so far here in the first half. Anthony, 3-ball, too strong. Rebound by McDonald. And a fresh 30 for the Lady Texans.
Yeah, and you can see Reuter making a big impact defensively as well. You can tell they're very wary of driving inside against that 6'4" body.
Malone can't get the shooter's roll, and Middle Tennessee has a chance to tie it with 1:30 to go in the first half. Taken away by Malone.
The sloppy pass there by Lyon. I like the idea, trying to go to Reuter, who is hot, just a little bit sloppy, and led to a bad turnover for Middle Tennessee.
Lyon with a rejection leads to a Staley 3. That won't go, but Dixon with another rebound. Dixon drives baseline. The runner too strong. It'll stay with La Tech.
Yeah, that's off Anna Jones right there. You know, as much as I've been waxing poetic in the first half about Anna Jones, and she has been fantastic over the last couple weeks. Only 1 point so far tonight, 0 of 4 from the floor. You see Louisiana Tech's had some issues offensively as well. Only 6 of 19 from the field tonight in the first 2 quarters of this game. Kara Meadows into the game for Middle Tennessee. She's a freshman, highly touted coming out of high school. She's been banged up. She's had some injury problems this year, but when she's played, she's demanded so much attention. She could be a nice weapon moving forward for MTSU.
Meadows making just her 3rd appearance, as you see here. Staley just runs over Laurel on the baseline, trying to get open, and that's going to be a foul against Taylor Staley. That's going to be the 5th team foul for La Tech. Both teams now in the bonus for the final 56 seconds of this game. Half, excuse me. As Lasagna Edwards, who checked in for a couple seconds, will take another seat. Kara Meadows, the freshman from Jamestown, Tennessee, making her 3rd appearance. As you mentioned, been banged up early in her freshman season, been very limited. Not just playing time, but practice time. Jones with 10 on the shot clock. And another turnover. This ball batted away by Cleaver. 2-second differential between shot and game clock. La Tech going to try and hold for one final shot here in the second half. Lauro checks Anthony with 9 on the shot clock. Anthony, Euro step, goes up with the right hand and finishes. Impressive move from Kiera Anthony.
Great athleticism right there by Kiera Anthony.
Sissom didn't get it off in time. And at halftime, La Tech is up by 4, 22-18, capped off by a beautiful finish half. And they have kept Middle Tennessee's offense in check. The Lady Raiders shooting just 35% in the first half. And of course, La Tech 8-0 when keeping opponents under 40% from the floor.
Katie Collier back out there looking healthy. She had to get stitched up. She got the elbow in the first half after she drew a foul, but that's big for Middle Tennessee. She's the point guard. She's the catalyst. She's the floor general. She makes them go offensively. Collier back. She looks a little bit bruised up. She's definitely a warrior. Definitely tough, but back out in the lineup for MTSU.
11 seconds in, and Middle Tennessee commits their 10th turnover. Traveling against Alex Johnson.
And typically that's what La Tech has issues with. I mean, 25 turnovers last game out. That's been their problem the entire game. There's one there for the Lady Texters, but typically that's been their weakness this year, but they've done a nice job turning the tables, and Middle Tennessee's had all kinds of turnovers so far today.
And that's the 10th turnover for La Tech, and it too was a traveling violation. Alongside Sarah Cardona and Chris Childers, I'm Jake Rose. We're live from the historic Murphy Center here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on ESPN3. Big Conference USA matchup as La Tech trying to get above 500. As Collier drives, loses it, stays with it, and has her first 2 of the game.
You love to see that from Katie Collier. After she got hit earlier, she had to get stitched up. There she is being aggressive, attacking the rim, getting right back to the basket. Fearless is Katie Collier.
Malone going to work. Offensive rebound, up and in. Brianna Cleaver.
And that's tough to guard right there. I don't think that they use her enough inside. We didn't see a lot of that in the first half, but she's got such a nice body to position herself around the basket to get those high percentage shots. Good job there by La Tech taking advantage of it.
Cleaver has doubled her scoring average the last 3 games, and that's going to be a 3-second violation against Reuter, and another turnover for Middle Tennessee. 4-point lead for La Tech.
Yeah, and that's 11 turnovers now for Middle Tennessee, and that typically isn't something that they do a lot of. Typically a very fundamental team, take care of the basketball, play great defense on the other end, but very out of character so far for MTSU.
Anthony, wide open 3, got it. And what a find by Alexis Malone.
She needed that. She's been struggling to shoot the ball from the field. She was hot early on in January, cooled off a little bit. She can be their best player when she's on, and that could have been a big confidence booster there for Anthony from the outside, from the perimeter.
Scoreless in the first quarter, and Alex Johnson picked up her feet before she drop stepped, and that was an easy call. And another turnover for Middle Tennessee. You see there the find from Alexis Malone. Perfect form from Anthony in the corner.
Yeah, and Katie Collier was just kind of asleep at the wheel there defensively, which gave Anthony plenty of space to set up and drain the 3.
Staley hounded by Sissom. Lang looking to create behind her back. Cleaver's baseline jumper. Off, and Reuter with a rebound.
Job there by Lang with the fancy ball movement there. Too bad they couldn't take advantage, but a really good job there creating the opportunity for her teammate.
Collier back to Johnson. Fantastic straight up defense by Cleaver. Middle Tennessee does get a fresh shot clock. Reuter for 3. Too strong. Reuter gets the rebound and goes up, misses. Now Johnson's turn. She's fouled going up, and a lot of contact.
You gotta think, Jake, eventually those things are gonna go down. I mean, typically Reuter doesn't miss that close to the basket. Then there's Alex Johnson, who's so efficient inside the low post. She can't get it to go. I mean, they went 0 for 3 there. They had 3 really good looks on that possession. That's kind of the tale of the game for Middle Tennessee, who's only 9 of 27 from the field, 33%. But you gotta think eventually those open looks are gonna start going in for MTSU.
Dixon checks in for Lang for the Lady Texters, as Rebecca Reuter will take a seat in favor of Gabby Lyon.
And if you're Coach Rick Insell, you got to be so frustrated. I'm not sure what else you can do. They've had opportunities. I think that's the thing. Yeah, you got to give the Lady Texters credit for the way they've played defense, but when you have open looks, you got to take advantage, and Middle Tennessee hasn't been able to do that all night long. And it's almost like they've gone backwards. It's almost like MTSU's offense has reverted back to what it was about a month ago. You know, we've seen them struggle offensively when they didn't have Alex Johnson in the lineup, and before Hannah Jones really became this big offensive star. They have looked like that team of old tonight. They got to get themselves back on track.
Anthony found a cutting Malone, and Gabby Lyon didn't have a choice but to foul, and Malone will head to the line. Rolls home the first, and the lead's back to 7 as Jess Loro checks in for Anna Jones. Laurel and Jones, probably the 2 best three-point shooters for Middle Tennessee. 0 for 6 combined as Malone rolls in another one.
Which has been kind of out of character because they've been such a good outside shooting team over the last few weeks. MTSU's been hot. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. And the biggest reason for their success has been the defense, but also the way they've shot the ball from the outside. And they've been absolutely brutal shooting the ball from three-point range tonight. Only 10% from the outside, 1 of 10 on the night.
Anthony takes the lazy Loro pass the other way, puts Loro on her heels, and Jess Loro has been called for the foul, and Anthony will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and Anthony's got great athleticism, very active in the passing lanes. Loro didn't see her there, did a nice job of closing in, getting the turnover, taking advantage, getting to the other side, and drawing the foul.
Misses the first as Anna Jones checks back in. And Laura will take a seat.
And that's been one of the biggest reasons why MTSU is still in this basketball game. They're now only 7 of 13 from the charity stripe. That's 54% on the night. If they were more efficient from hitting their freebies, this game could be more out of hand, more into the double-digit cushion there for the Lady Texters. But right now, as it stands, they have had an issue from the charity stripe, and it's allowed MTSU to stay in this game. Right now, down 9 with 6:15 left to go in the third.
Anthony splits the pair, 81% free throw shooter on the season, one of the better shooters in all of Conference USA. Lady Texters doing a fantastic job of taking Alex Johnson out of the play. But a foul will be called, a hand check foul against Anthony on Jones.
I've been so impressed with the Lady Texters defensively, and I didn't have high expectations going into the game. It's not like statistically they're one of the better defenses in Conference USA, but they are so active. They're long, and they've done a nice job really closing in on MTSU all night. They have not given them much space to put up shots.
We were talking to their radio broadcaster, Malcolm Butler, as Johnson will head back to the line again as Malone picks up her third foul. We were talking to Malcolm Butler, the radio broadcaster for the Lady Texters, and he was saying, hey, even though this team has lost 3 of 4, they are very excited about where they're headed. They had a very tough loss against Western Kentucky on the road.
Yep.
They lost by 10, but they were within 3 with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter after being down by 17 in the third.
And they're good. I mean, obviously, to me, it's a balanced team. It's just a young team. You look at a player like Kira Anthony, who kind of, is up and down and inconsistent, but she's a player. We've seen her play really well in the second half. She's super athletic. Plus, you got legitimate bigs like Alexis Malone that can score in the low post. They obviously can play great defense. We've seen it for the first couple of quarters plus in this game. This is a young team that's balanced, that will continue to grow and get better each and every game they play.
Rick Insel switches up the defensive look. Raiders coming out in a 3/4 court pressure defense, and they force the turnover on the other end. 8-point lead for the Lady Texters. 5:20 to go here in the third.
And that was the 11th turnover of the game for La Tech. See, I'm not sure why Collier's not shooting right there. She gets the ball. She's got space. I watch her all the time in warm-ups. She can shoot. She's got a great shooting rhythm. She's got a great shooting stroke. To me, she's just way too timid in gameplay.
Foul away from the ball.
Take the shot.
Foul away from the ball goes against Cleaver. She will take a seat. That's her second. 4th team foul against La Tech. One more, and Middle Tennessee will be in the bonus. Now Zanae Whitney guarding Johnson, the junior from Queens. And they are really looking to force feed Alex Johnson in the post. Lyon drives, goes up with the right hand, and the senior converts.
And that seems to be the only place they have success. They're outscoring La Tech now 18-6 with points in the paint. Just keep going inside. Obviously, you can't hit your outside shots. You got absolutely no rhythm from three-point range. You're shooting 10% from the outside. At this point, you've seen throughout the game, the only thing that works is scoring around the basket. Keep going inside to Johnson, Lyon, and Reuter when she's back in the game.
It's going to be a foul against Zanae Whitney. And Brooke Storrs, post players are making it pretty tough on her, as many of them are in foul trouble. And it's a 6-point lead for La Tech with 4:16 to go here in the third. And we'll be right back. Stay with us here on ESPN3. We've got a good one for squad here in Murfreesboro, trying to get that 5th conference win, get above 500 in conference play, pick up that 14th W on the season. Just 2 road wins for La Tech this season, 1 so far in conference play, but they've been great in Ruston, 10-2. Signs of a young team, but as we mentioned before going into last break, this is a team that Brooke Storr likes where they're headed.
Well, and sometimes it can all come together on the road, and look what's happening tonight. I mean, it's not like they're shooting the ball all that well. I think they're around 33% from the floor, but this is a team that obviously is gaining confidence. They're playing great defense. They're on the road in a tough environment, and they're passing the test so far. We got 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Pressure defense works again for Middle Tennessee, forcing another turnover. That's 12 turnovers forced by Middle Tennessee.
And that's what's going to get you back into the game against this team. Their youth can rear its ugly head at times. They can get sloppy with the basketball. And if you want to get back in the game, keep creating turnovers. Problem is, you got to hit some shots as well. As you saw, Lauro there missed the three. Middle Tennessee now 1 of 11 from three-point range.
Anthony the other way. Goes up with the right hand and finishes. She's in double figures. So the lead is back to 7 for La Tech.
It's just one of those games where Middle Tennessee can't do anything right offensively. I mean, go look at the top. Go look at the stars for Middle Tennessee. Alex Johnson, the preseason Conference USA Player of the Year. She's 1 of 6 from the field. Anna Jones is the reigning National Player of the Week. She's 0 for 4 from the field. They just can't get anything going offensively. And I was saying earlier, you would think eventually the shots would start to go down, but they're not.
Kick ball with 4 on the shot clock. It'll stay with Middle with 3. And here's a second look of Kiera Anthony with another pickpocket. So Middle has 3 to shoot. And we've been seeing this all season long. They've really worked the clock to their disadvantage on offense as Gabby Lyon can't get the shot off. Another shot clock violation.
You got to have better awareness than that if you're Gabby Lyon. There's no excuse. You're a senior. You've been on this team for a long time. You played at a high level. You competed for championships. You got to have better awareness of the shot clock there. A needless turnover.
Hand check foul against Katie Collier. That's going to be the 3rd team foul against Middle Tennessee and the 1st against Collier. .244 to go here in the 3rd. La Tech by 7, 32-25. McDonald probably got away with a walk. Certainly Rick Insel thinks so, and it certainly looked like it from our vantage point right here on the...
Yeah, it certainly was a walk, and you see Jess Lauro, who got called with the kick. She's like, that was a travel. Clearly she took a first step there before dribbling, but a break for La Tech, and they get to keep possession.
16 seconds on the shot clock as the Boo Birds are out here in Murfreesboro.
And I feel like this is the first time in the game we've actually heard the crowd. La Tech's done such a nice job defensively. They've kept the crowd out of the game. There hasn't been much to cheer for. I mean, we're almost at the end of the 3rd quarter. Middle Tennessee stuck at 25 points. It's the first time the crowd has really been animated at all this night.
Perfect bounce pass from McLeod to set up a wide open Alexis Malone.
And now it's a 9-point lead for Louisiana Tech. As they continue to widen the gap here, Middle Tennessee just has no answers at this point.
Lauro on the wing. Lyon looking high-low for Johnson. Now Sissom will drive, go up with a right hand, and gets it to roll home. Nice finish from Abby Sissom. She's got 4.
And I'm not sure why they got away from that. Just keep attacking the basket. It's the only place you're having success. They have dominated as far as scoring points in the paint tonight. They're outscoring the Lady Techsters 20-12 inside the paint. Just attack the paint, chip away, and get back into this game. Enough of the threes. They're not going down. It's not your night. You can't find the basket from the outside. Keep attacking the rim.
Kiera Anthony has absolutely had her way with this Middle Tennessee defense as Jess Lauro gets one to roll home, and that's all a shooter needs.
Well, and just as I say, attack the rim, Lauro gets a little bit of luck there on the bounce, and the rim a little bit friendly. And maybe that's the first one. You see it go down. That kind of gets MTSU back on track. But again, if it's me, attack the basket, attack the rim. You have the size advantage, and you've dominated inside.
15 on the shot clock, 55 seconds to go in the 3rd. Johnson in the paint, right hand on the left side. 4-point game. More pressure from Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and you saw Malone come off the double team there, which has allowed Alex Johnson a clear look at the basket inside. And all of a sudden, we got a 4-point game.
Anthony refusing to go to the left.
Now, obviously, Collier saw that on the scouting report. She was begging her to go to the left, and she couldn't do it.
Dixon regains after losing, running into several Middle Tennessee players pinballing around, can't get the shot to go. Middle Tennessee will have the last shot. 5 seconds. Collier. Now Johnson. She's going to pull it from just inside the arc. Got it! 2-point game.
Just like that, Middle Tennessee is only down by 2 for the longest stretch of time. They can get nothing to go down, and just like that, they are hot from the field.
The Conference USA preseason player of the year. 7-0 run the last couple of minutes of the third to pull within 2. And we've got a ball game starting off the 4th here at the Glass House in Murfreesboro.
Just when you thought absolutely nothing could go right for Middle Tennessee, they're right back in the game, down 2. And this is a really important game for them. They've been so hot as of late, winning 6 of their last 7. They're trying to chip away in the conference standings. When you're at home, you gotta win. They look so sloppy, so lethargic for most of this game, but right back on track in striking distance down a bucket as we have the entire 4th quarter left to play.
Anthony from way deep is way short. And Middle Tennessee has the opportunity to tie or take the lead with the possession right here. La Tech undefeated so far this season when leading after 3 quarters. See if they can hang on to that mark here in Murfreesboro. Johnson going to work with the right hand, too strong. And a big rebound by Cleaver.
I like Johnson being aggressive there. If I was her, though, Jones was wide open on the outside, had a good look from 3, but you got to admire Johnson wanted to take over, be the leader, be aggressive, especially late in this game.
So you look at the rebounding numbers for both teams. Middle Tennessee up by 3, 23-20, as Cleaver got the rebound on one end and knocks down the jumper on the other. She's got 8 and 5 boards to go along with it. She has really come on for the Lady Texters the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that's a really important shot there for Cleaver, because things were getting out of hand, things were getting away. You see the turnover there, and there's the Lady Texters going the other way. As Anthony draws the foul.
Anthony drives and draws the foul against Rebecca Reuter. That's going to be the first team foul of the quarter for Middle Tennessee.
And if she can take advantage here at the charity stripe, this is a really key sequence of events for the Lady Texters, because things are getting out of hand. The momentum completely swung. You mentioned how Middle was on a 7-0 run. They needed to come out of the gates hot in the 4th quarter, and so far so good for the Lady Texters.
Anthony knocks down the first. Here's a second look with a foul against Reuter. Got it with that right arm as Anthony went up for the layup.
Kira Anthony's a fun player to watch. She really is. She's so freaking athletic. She's so fast. She's so active in the passing lanes. Really good at creating turnovers, getting out in transition, attacking the basket. You saw her there draw the foul on the other end. She's so fun and so athletic, and she really is a joy to watch play basketball.
There's one word I would use to describe her game. It's smooth. We saw that jumper on the opposite side of the court, just perfect form. She knocked down a step-back jumper as Lyon struggles with the La Tech defense. Now Reuter, a lot of steps for Rebecca Reuter, no call. I guess that's going both ways today.
You're definitely lucky there. There's an obvious travel.
Sissom drives and finishes strong. 4-point game.
Well, that's 6 points now for Sissom, and Sissom is somebody who can score the basketball for Middle Tennessee. That was a huge 3 on the other end there.
Don't leave Taylor Staley open like that. That's her 3rd 3-pointer tonight.
And you would think eventually they would learn. I mean, if you give her space, she will take the shot. That's what she does. She's like a J.J. Redick type of spot shooter, and they've left her alone, and she's beat them to the 2 to 9 points tonight.
Unorthodox form, too. It's a quick trigger. Doesn't quite look as smooth as you might think from a volume shooter like Staley.
But it goes down. That's all that matters. That's all that counts. If it goes down, you're effective, and she has been a lethal shooter from the outside.
Let's look at the shooting numbers for Middle Tennessee compared to the first and second half. That's going to be an illegal screen against Gabby Lyon. It's going to be her 3rd and the 2nd team foul against Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Anna Jones finally hit a shot, which would have been her first of the night, but it was all for naught after the call against the Raiders.
And that's a good call, as Lyon was trying to set up Jones.
Anna Jones only 1 point tonight. She's 0 of 4 from the field. A little bit surprising, actually a lot surprising considering how hot she's been offensively. She's been averaging 16 points a game over the last 5. Middle Tennessee 4-1 in that stretch, but it's really no coincidence why they're trailing right now by 7. Anna Jones has been a shell of what she's been offensively the last couple weeks for Middle Tennessee.
Another assist for Malone as Cleaver knocks down the jumper. And let's send it over to Sarah Cardona.
During that last timeout, La Tech's head coach Brooke Storr, she was telling her team, we can't get lost. She said, I just need a little bit more from you. We can't let them get another three. I just want you to be aggressive and be strong with the ball. Jake, back to you.
Double-digit lead for the Lady Techsters on the road in Murfreesboro.
It's been unbelievable what they've been able to accomplish here over the opening 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. Middle Tennessee had all the momentum at the end of the third quarter, was at a 7-0 run, and La Tech immediately showing great character, coming right back, extending the lead in there. An easy layup on the transition, and a foul, and a chance now for the three-point play for the Lady Techsters.
Kiera Anthony will go to the line for the three-point play. And if you had the vantage point that we did, looking at both benches at the same time, Middle Tennessee is distraught.
Yeah.
And it is lit over on the Lady Tech, La Tech sideline.
Well, and you can understand, I mean, they had all their hopes built up. They were right back in the game. They couldn't get anything to go down. They were struggling. They were out of sorts, and they had that hot run there at the end of the third quarter. 7-0 run, finally got back in, and you're thinking, okay, you're at home. 10 minutes left to go. They're going to be able to capitalize.
He has got to figure out in a hurry. They're down 14 with 6:22 to go here in the fourth.
Yeah, we said that about Kiera Anthony at the start of the broadcast, that she's got to be better. She had been struggling, and La Tech had been struggling because of that. They had lost, I think, 3 of their last 4 games. And look at Anthony, right back on track, 60% shooting from the field. She's only given it away 4 times, which is a little bit better for her, and because of it, La Tech has been fantastic tonight on the road. Currently up 14 points with about 6 minutes left to play.
Anna Jones has to take a tough shot because the shot clock was running down, but the freshman gets the roll.
And that was her first field goal of the night. Jones now has 3 points. She had a free throw earlier in the first half. Her output is down. You know, she's been really hot as of late. National Freshman of the Week. She's routinely scored in double digits, but she finally got that first one to go down. And I'm curious to see how this game affects Anna Jones going forward. She had been so good. This is a little bit of a mental setback for her. Curious to see how she's going to respond from this game moving forward.
Lang in a pickle with 3. Now Staley with 1. Malone from deep, in and out. Big rebound by Katie Collier.
And if Malone would have hit that, that's just one of those shots you just throw up your hands and say it's just not our night. Luckily for Middle Tennessee, that didn't happen. Still in this game, down 12, 5 minutes left to play.
Alex Johnson, one-on-one with Cleaver. Cleaver straight up. And Alex Johnson with another travel. That is going to be the 19th turnover for Middle Tennessee. As we are going to go to break, La Tech full-time students, and this is pretty much a full-time gig. See there the shiner that Katie Collier got back in the first, and there's the list of injuries Middle Tennessee has had to deal with so far this season. Abby Sissom has missed some time. Obviously, Alex Johnson has missed a lot of time, 11 games total. As Gabby Lyon able to knock it away from Malone on the entry pass. But outside of injuries, you and I were talking during the break, Chris, just a lot of inconsistent play from this Middle Tennessee team so far this season. Alex Jones pulls up. Got it.
And Anna Jones finally she's finally finding her confidence from the floor. She's finally finding her rhythm. She couldn't buy a shot early on, and she was a little bit timid to shoot the basketball. You could see that her confidence was a little bit shaken early on. You hope it's not too little too late if you're Middle Tennessee down 10 at this point, but that was a great step for Anna Jones. Kyla Allison missing 15 games this year. Alex Johnson with 12. It's taken them a while to get healthy, but now they're finally healthy. I mean, MTSU's been as healthy. They're as healthy now as they've been all season long. Finally getting their bearings back, and things were coming together. That's why tonight is so shocking. I mean, this is a shocking result up to this point, and who knows what's going to happen over the next 4 minutes and 21 seconds, but they were hot. I mean, MTSU had won 6 of their last 7 games. They had been scoring more. They had 60-plus points out against Charlotte over the weekend. Last Thursday, 73 points in a win on the road against Marshall. They had found their offense, and it just disappeared tonight all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Lasagna Edwards checks in and immediately draws the foul. The junior from Fort Pierce, Florida, will go to the line. Just a 40% free throw shooter and limited just 5 minutes per game. This is her 18th contest that she's played in. Pair of free throws for Kiera Anthony gives her 20 points. It's her 39th 20-point performance in her La Tech career. As Edwards knocks down the first and shorts the second. Rebound by Malone. 11-point game, 4:09 to go. La Tech trying to pick up a huge road win here in Murfreesboro, a place they have not won since the 2000-2001 season.
Yeah,
Since
and
their head coach, Brooks Storr, was playing.
MTSU keeps blowing chances from the free throw line, only 50% from the line today, 5 of 10. And when in a game like this where you've struggled to shoot from the field, you're only 44%. You got to hit the freebies, and they haven't been able to do that.
Malone's now got 9. Great footwork underneath the bucket. 13-point lead for La Tech. Collier's going to go up strong, draw the foul. And that will go against Brianna Cleaver.
And
Couldn't get there in time.
And that's Katie Collier's mission. If she's going to drive the basket, that's the end goal, is to try to get fouled. She's typically not one of those aggressive players that goes to the hoop, but if you see her do that, that's the goal. And mission accomplished there, getting to the free throw line. But again, you got to hit your freebies. Now Middle Tennessee under 50% from the line, 5 of 11 from the charity stripe tonight. That's not going to get it done. Plain and simple.
La Tech 13 of 19 at one point. They were 3 of 8. So they've improved as the game has progressed. And Collier strokes the second.
And finally, you have Reuter back in the game for Middle Tennessee. I'm a little bit shocked she hasn't played more. I think she's only played 17 minutes tonight. She was the leading scorer in the first half at 9 points. You see the turnover there. Anna Jones gets the ball back for Middle Tennessee. But Reuter's been so dominant, I'm surprised they haven't had her in the lineup more tonight. You see points off of turnovers. La Tech with 25 as they force another one right there.
Teams trading turnovers here with 3 minutes to go in the fourth. La Tech up by a dozen.
Rick Insel, lots of frustration on his face. He's just kind of shaking his head. I mean, it seems like nothing is going right tonight for MTSU.
Cleaver going to work on Alex Johnson, and she will draw the foul and step to the line for 2. That'll be the 3rd foul against Alex Johnson. And that'll be the 5th team foul against Middle Tennessee. La Tech with 3 team fouls. Only 1 player on the floor for the Lady Texters with 4 fouls. And that is Rihanna Cleaver, who shorts the free throw.
You know, if I was going to boil this game down, Jake, to 2 stats, it would be Middle Tennessee's lack of efficiency from the outside, only 2 of 13 from three-point range. And we've talked about the free throws, only 6 of 12, good for 50%. That's got to be better. If you're going to win games in this league against quality teams like La Tech, young teams that are getting better, you got to hit your freebies and you got to get some shots to go down from the outside. That hasn't happened tonight for MTSU.
Reuter, too long in the corner. And we're now at 2.5 minutes. La Tech has been so impressive this quarter. Offensively, went on that 10-0 run to start. Got this lead into double digits as Jones fouls, and Laura will check in. Anna Jones. Alex Johnson, Anna Jones. Really tricky for me tonight, apparently. 4th foul on Jones. Sky-high free throw from Kiera Lang is good.
She gets a lot of arc on the ball, whether she's shooting a three-pointer or a free throw. She gets a lot of air underneath the basketball. Just kind of hangs up there for about 5 seconds, it seems.
Collier trying to dribble out of trouble, runs directly into Lang, and they're going to say that she was going up 2 shots. Here's a look at Louisiana Tech's schedule coming up. They're at home against UAB on Sunday, and they also welcome the Lady Owls of Rice on February 7th before hitting the road to take on UTEP on February 10th. As Collier gets the bounce from the charity stripe. Anna Jones checks back in for Abby Sissom.
Got to give Collier some credit. It's almost like she took her toughness pills in the second half. She has been so aggressive and active attacking the rim.
Collier with 5 points. And that's actually the 5th straight game that Katie Collier has ended up with 5 points. And we've got a 30. And Collier's going to foul on the inbound. And Kiera Lang will step to the stripe as we are going to be in the bonus for both teams the rest of the way.
And Jake, I think you mentioned something so huge and critical. It's all about seeding for the conference tournament. I mean, that's what matters. Conference USA typically is only a 1-bid league. So you're playing at this point for seeding in the conference tournament. You want to get the best matchups you possibly can once you get into March, but that's what it's all about at this level. It's building for March. It's building for the conference tournament. And for Middle Tennessee, it's a setback tonight. Offensively, they've been woeful. I think it's safe to say that. They haven't been able to get anything going from three-point range. At the free throw line, they've even struggled. They've turned it over at a high clip. It just hasn't been their kind of night, but it's okay. Because in a league like this, you are building for the conference tournament.
Reuter hesitating. Now Johnson, one-on-one. Powers her way up and in. 11-point game.
And at this point, it's going to take a minor miracle for Middle Tennessee. Down 11, 1:53 left to go in the game. They've been so inept offensively. You never know. You get hot, get a couple of turnovers, hit a couple of threes, you're right back in it. But at this point, the way the game has been trending, it would be surprising if Middle Tennessee could come back in the last minute and 49 seconds of this game.
Foul will go against Collier, her third. As Lang will step to the line again.
And that's the key right now for Louisiana Tech. Just hit your free throws. At this point, you got to foul a lot if you're Middle Tennessee, try to extend the game. And if you're La Tech, best thing to do to get this road win, just hit your freebies. Is the missed one right there. I jinxed him.
Jones to Collier. Collier drives, goes up strong, but it's swatted away. Good defense by Zanae Whitney.
Maybe a little bit too ambitious from Katie Collier in the second half. She's been attacking the rim a lot. Sometimes she gets a little bit out of control.
There's the individual breakdown of turnovers for Blue Raiders. Alex Johnson's had a tough time in the post. But credit La Tech, their post players have done a fantastic job shutting her down. She has 10 points, but she's just 4 of 10 from the floor. Anna Jones with a few turnovers, as well as Katie Collier, as Taylor Staley, 96% free throw shooter, steps to the line. So the last person you want to foul if you're Middle Tennessee.
Yeah,
there's a minute and a half to go.
There's really nothing Middle Tennessee has done well tonight. And it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those games that's going to happen from time to time. You hate to see it based on all the momentum you had built up, winning 6 of your last 7 games. But, you know, field goal percentage is only at 43%. Three-point field goal percentage of 14%. They gave it away 20 times. They've given up 60 points, which is 8 points over their season average of what they allow in conference play. It just has not been the home team's night.
Loro now 1 of 4 from behind the arc. Just 3 points tonight for the sharpshooter from Wall, New Jersey. She's been playing really well. 10 threes the last 4 games and 26 attempts. Had 14 points against Charlotte. Double figures 5 of the last 6 games until tonight. As Staley steps to the line again. Again, unorthodox shot, but it works.
It works for her. I mean, she, in going into the game, the people that are with this program kept bragging about her and her ability to shoot the ball and how efficient she is. It is very unorthodox. It's a little Bill Cartwright-ish. Not quite, but a little bit. You know, a little bit of
Cartwright-ish.
You know, a little bit of a weird twerk there at the end, but it works for her. And she's a heck of a shooter.
Wasn't expecting a Bill Cartwright reference tonight, but hey.
Well, anytime I see an unorthodox shot, that's the first guy that pops into my head.
Minute to go here in Murfreesboro. Johnson bullies her way up and count the bucket. She shakes her head as she heads to the free throw line.
And you got to admire Alex Johnson there. She keeps fighting, keeps going at it, keeps getting aggressive, never stops. Still got 54 seconds left to go in this game.
Nice job by Johnson to get Whitney off of her feet and out of position before going up strong. She's got a dozen. And La Tech will take a timeout to talk about it with 54 points.
That's what's been beating Louisiana Tech in weeks past, in games past, is the giveaways. They had 25 of them against Western Kentucky. They cut it down by 10 tonight, and here they are right now up 13 with under a minute left to play. That's the biggest key for them. They're not the best shooting team in the country. They're not the best three-point shooting team in the country, but they're athletic. They got some great bigs like Malone. They're balanced, and if they can just not give it away, they're going to have a chance in each and every game they play. And you saw it tonight. Took care of the basketball on the road. Then they set their magic number at 60. You know, talking to them before the game, they said if we can get to 60, we feel we have a chance to win. And right now they're at 63.
Katie Collier's just fouled out. She finishes tonight with 5 points, 3 boards, and one heck of a shiner.
And that's going to hurt tomorrow. And she, you know what, I like the aggression from Katie Collier tonight. A little bit different mindset. She was attacking the basket a lot. You could tell that elbow kind of woke her up a little bit. And after she got back into the game, got stitched up, she was tough.
Louisiana Tech has been very, very impressive. Johnson goes up. And Staley will bring it up the floor as Middle's trying to foul.
I'm not sure why.
Left with a 15-point deficit.
Yeah, I'm not sure why at this point. I understand playing to the end of the game, playing to the end of the whistle, you know, or to the buzzer. You never know what can happen. But at this point, I mean, you're down 15 points. There's 40 seconds left. It pretty much is a lost cause at home, if we're being honest.
Staley again, 6 of 6 from the free throw stripe. Did I just see La Tech do?
Every single time they hit a free throw. I've noticed it too. Every time they hit a free throw, they cross their legs on the bench and they put their hands.
Little major league action.
There's a clap and they put their hands under their chin. And here they go again.
It's very major league-ish. I appreciate that.
They've had some interesting traditions at Louisiana Tech over the years. Back when I was in school, I remember doing softball games, and I would watch Louisiana Tech. Willie Mays Hayes.
I think we're just fawning for baseball season at this
Lou
point.
Brown, greatest manager of all time, Lou Brown.
It's got a guy on the other line who wants to know about some white walls as Alex Johnson goes up.
Well done, sir. Well done.
If only people could hear us during commercial breaks quoting Wayne's World and Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers, and now Major League.
Very
the Animal House will probably make its way into the commercial breaks, I'm sure. 19 seconds left to go.
3-second differential between shot and game clock. And La Tech, 17-point advantage here in Murfreesboro. Johnson with a rebound. And that'll do it. La Tech, off a heartbreaker against Western Kentucky on Sunday, comes into Murfreesboro, where they have not won since the 2001 season when Brooke Storr was a player for the Lady Texters. A huge victory for La Tech. They move to 14-8 overall. They pick up their 5th conference victory. They move to 5-4 in conference play, and they're right.